like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog,
Let's go, baby.
Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 How you doing?
Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my lawn.
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Top 10 Tuesday in the Doghouse. I am back in the saddle after a travel day yesterday, and we are at one of my favorite places on the planet, Baumhauer's Victory Grill. It is the calm before the storm here, as the place will open up here in less than an hour. The chairs are still on the tables. They're cleaning up. They're getting ready to go. They're heating up the grills and so on. You're going to want to be here at 11 o'clock to get in and get a nice seat here at Baumhauer's. And, of course, we are celebrating 45 years in business for Baumhauer's. Now, in the Tennessee Valley, Baumhauer's has had 4 locations. Not at the same time. It's been one Baumhauer's in the Huntsville area, but they've kind of bounced around at different locations until settling into this custom-built location at the South Memorial Parkway. But in 1995, they moved into their location on Balmoral Drive off of Airport Road, where they were for, I want to say almost 25 years, or right around 25 years. Now, that was the first place that I visited and where I did many a remote in that back room at Baumhauer's on Balmoral Drive. Those of you that have been listening to the show for a long time, you know those shows that we did at Baumhauer's for many, many years that I did there. And it's also, by the way, where I met Tom Luganbill and began a long-time friendship. He was sitting in a booth having dinner during one of my remotes. At that time, he was the former coach of the Tennessee Valley Vipers, and someone introduced us. That was in 2005, and we've been friends ever since. So it was 1995 when they moved to Balmoral Road. That's our featured year in sports, 1995. Nebraska was on a heater then, in the middle of winning 3 natties in 4 years. Remember, they won in 94, 95, and then again in 97. 1996 was Steve Spurrier's one and only championship at Florida. Now, in 95, the Gators hammered Arkansas. Oh, yes, kids, Arkansas in the SEC championship game, believe it or not, once. They hammered Arkansas 34-3 in the SEC championship game, which was Florida's 3rd straight SEC championship game title. Now, at that point, Florida had gone to the first 4 SEC championship games out of the East, losing to Alabama in 92 and then beating the Tide in 93 and 94. They beat the Tide again in 96 en route to winning that natty in 96, making it 5 straight trips to Atlanta. Well, not to Atlanta because the first couple were in Birmingham. 5 straight trips to the SEC championship game for the Florida Gators. It was actually Tennessee that broke through in the East in 97 to finally end the Gators' run. Now, also in 1995, the Atlanta Braves finally broke through and won the World Series, beating the Cleveland Indians in 6 games. Tom Glavine was the MVP. And I think that Josh Caray was about 15 years old. He's coming up at the bottom of the hour. Of course, Josh's dad, Skip Caray, was the longtime voice of the Braves. And in fact, according to the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, Skip Caray's call of the 1992 pennant win and the 1995 World Series win were the, quote, 2 most iconic calls, end quote, in Braves history. And we'll talk to Josh about that and other things that are going on in the world of baseball coming up at the bottom of the hour. Now, at the top of the 11, Kennington Lloyd Smith III will join us from the AP in Tuscaloosa, allegedly. Now, I have to say, Kennington's got a meeting going on, and that meeting might drag over the top of the hour, and if that's the case, it might be a little bit later on in hour number 2, but he'll be back at some point for Skinny Kenny and the Fat Man. I'm not sure what Kenny was doing in 1995. It probably wasn't much if he was even alive then. We'll get an update from him on where he thinks the quarterback battle is going with Alabama, along with some other position battles ahead of this week's final inter-squad scrimmage, which is on Thursday before the opener against East Carolina on September 5th. I believe that yesterday was the last open practice, viewing practice for the media. I think they've completely locked it down now for the next 3 weeks, which is really kind of insane when you think about it. But the media got to see like 15 minutes of yesterday's practice. I don't know if I don't think they're seeing anything today. And that's it. They're done. They're done. Can't go near the place. What is it that they're going to see that is going to create such a problem for others? I mean, why this mystery, this shroud that you can't even watch the team stretch? You can't even watch them go through a one-on-one drill, an indie drill. I mean, really? 3 weeks shrouded, and did they restrict the airspace over the top of the practice field and stuff too, just to make sure that nobody's kind of flying over and checking things out? I mean, it's crazy. All right, your phone lines are wide open. Feel free to jump in and contribute at 256-576-4977. That number is good wherever and however you consume the show. We got a text window open as well. We'll read and react to those on the air. 732-9TA show. 732-982-7469. That is your text window. Text that number. Call the call-in number, 256-576-4977. That's your call-in number. All right. Finally, you can watch the show as well. WZZN TV on the YouTube, and you can check that out at the Facebook page. You can get it at the X page. You can get it at my X page, which is at Thom Abraham Show. So if you go there, you can go ahead and pick it up there and snag it from that location as well if you want to go ahead and watch the show on WZZN TV. Now back in Mission Control, playing the Platters Matter, the Stacks Wax, answer the phones, keep it on the air, keep it on the YouTube. It's alongside the Bandyman, the Grasshopper.
I'm the producer of this show. If I didn't step up, you're nowhere. I put this thing together out of spit and polish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
I have a sentimental weakness for my children, and I spoil them, as you can see. They talk when they should listen.
Give me back my son! What is your name? Detective. It doesn't matter what your name is!
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
It really doesn't matter what you think. All right? It really doesn't matter what you say.
I'm all jacked up on Mountain
Dew. Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby.
We back.
You guys have fun without me yesterday? Doing your own thing?
It was a great time. I think it was one of the best Thom Abraham shows we've had in a minute.
Probably. Yes. I'm just talking to the waitress here.
Oh, wait, make sure you get me some food as well.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see how that works. I don't know, because I don't, you know how I feel about eating during the meeting. I'd rather, I'd rather you get something to eat. But in your case, you work till noon on this show, and then you've got to go right into you only got 15 minutes, so you're not really going to have a chance to eat. One of these days, I'll convince you to bring your lunch in. You know what I mean? That's what you guys need to do.
Yeah, it would be nice. Yeah, today it was weird. For whatever reason, my alarms actually didn't. They weren't set.
Oh,
It was weird because I never turned them off. I had one alarm that went off at 5:30, in between 5:30 and 5, and then my other alarms didn't go off. So I woke up at like 6:30, and I was like, "Oh, I still got a little bit of time." And then I was like, "Oh wait, it's 6:30." So then I thought that the time has completely changed, and I didn't know that there was daylight savings or whatever that just kicked in. So I was still on time to work, so no need to give me the lashings.
Well, daylight savings started like in March.
Yeah. So I was just confused.
I was the opposite end of things because I just spent 10 days in the Eastern time zone.
Yeah.
And so, like, I woke up at 5 o'clock naturally without my alarm. I just woke up because I wake up at 6 every day. So I just woke up at 5 o'clock. and it was 6 o'clock Eastern. So I was like, oh, I got another hour here because I kind of gained an hour back, if you will.
It's an awesome feeling, isn't it?
Let me tell you something. I want to sum up. You know why I went down there. The whole reason I went down there was I needed to spend some time with my parents because I'm worried about your grandparents that are 87 years old.
Yeah, and you wanted to avoid SEC Media Days.
No. I mean, it was supposed to be the same week, and then it kind of got all jacked up and screwed up. But at any rate, I needed to see them. I needed to eyeball them. There's been some health concerns, and I started getting a little bit nervous. And I'm like, you know what? I need to go check these people out, make sure I got to eyeball them, make sure they're okay. So, having said that, let me sum up the week with your grandparents. My mother, okay, your grandmother, she's still driving the cowboy Cadillac. She's still got the big F-250 that she drags a trailer around with the horses and everything, although she doesn't drag the trailer around anymore. She's hardly ever riding anymore, but she still drives the cowboy Cadillac, right? She's still got the big truck, okay? So on Thursday, I think it was, on Thursday, I'm on the phone with my father, and he says, I got to go. Your mother is calling. She's out on the highway somewhere. So my mother calls my father, and she's in a panic. And she's like, Joe. My parents are Joe and Mary. No pressure on me. Joe and Mary are my parents. Great. Anyway, she's like, Joe, there's something wrong. The truck is making an awful sound. I don't know what's wrong. I'm going to pull over. He says, like, where are you? She says, I'm on Interstate 75. He's like, you can't pull over on Interstate 75. You got to get an exit. Okay, I'm going to get an exit. He says, okay, get off at the exit and then stop and see if you can tell me what's going on. And she says, okay, fine. I'm calling AAA. No, don't call AAA yet. Just call me back and let me know what's going on. I'm going to go and get into my truck and I'll meet you. I'll come out there and rescue you. Okay, fine. I just don't know. All right, I'm slowing down. The sound is going away a little bit, Joe. As I slow down, the sound is going away. And he's like, really? It's going away? And she says, I'm now stopped. Please stay on the phone with me because I'm now stopped on the side of the road, and I need you to stay on the phone with me. The sound is gone, though. I don't understand why the sound is gone. He's like, okay, we'll try and move the truck a little bit. Try driving down the road a little bit and see what happens. It's back. The sound is back. Something's wrong with this truck, Joe. I'm going to have to pull over. You got to come and rescue me. So he says, all right, I'm coming. Don't worry, I'm coming. Just pull over and sit there. Don't get out of the truck because you might get hit by somebody going down the side of the road. She says, okay, fine. She calls him back 5 minutes later. The back windows were down.
Oh, my gosh. What do you mean the back windows were down? When did they go down? How did they go down?
Well, she didn't know, and she doesn't, and she blamed it on something with the truck. She's like, I don't know what happened. So I thought my father made the story up. He tells me the story, and then before we left, we had breakfast at Perkins. Of course, we had breakfast at Perkins. Where else are you going to have breakfast with old people? We had breakfast at Perkins, and I'm like, I thought my father's constantly telling me stories about things my mother does that are crazy, and I think he's crazy, so I think he's making them up or embellishing on some of these stories. So I said to her, did you really have to pull over and you couldn't figure out what was wrong with it and the back windows were open on the truck? She goes, yeah, the back windows were open. They just went down. She goes, I don't know how. I said, there's those two little levers that are on right there alongside your arm there. You pull them and then the window will go down. I mean, it's uncanny the way that happens. I know, I don't think I did that. I didn't put the windows down. I go, Mom, let's just think about this for a minute, okay? I mean, is there any way possible the rear windows of your truck went down without you doing it? And you know how it is, John. You ever driven a truck with the rear, the shag with the rear windows down a little bit, and you get that, sound? Yeah. It sounds like it wants to burst your ears.
Like a warp tunnel or something.
Yes, like you're in a warp, but it went away when she stopped. But it started again when she drove.
That could have been a lot of things. Once you stop, usually the sounds, stop with that. But it's good to know that they're living very exciting lives.
The rear windows were down. And they were calling AAA, and he was going to rescue her. I mean, this is that moment sums up 8 days with your grandparents.
Yeah, that's a Live Free, Die Hard movie right there.
Oh, my gosh. I'm like, this is crazy. And they just gave her license again. I mean, they have to. She just went to 87 years old. She had to get another driver's license test or whatever she had to take. Then they give her another license. And I think they give it to him for like 5 years. How do you give a woman? They don't buy green bananas. How do you give him a license for 5 years at 87? And now he's got to go and get his. And I go, was it a driving test at all? And she says, no, just a written test. I said, so all you had to do is take a written test to keep driving? Killing me. All right. Let's go to lines. Let's get to Philip in here. Philip, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm all right. That's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
You know what Grasshopper needs to do?
What's he need to do?
He needs to put you in a home.
Me? Not until I'm 87. And I'll be in a home when I'm 87, a funeral home. Why would he have to put me in a home?
You know, I like that idea. Tom Abraham show live from the home.
The home. I'll still be doing radio from the home. Put me in a home. I just think Phil's going to black out when he starts laughing.
Then Grasshopper needs to learn how to make a sandwich. So, has Mama made your sandwiches all your life? You don't know how to make a sandwich? Is that what I just heard?
You faded out there. Has Mama made what?
Has Mama made all the sandwiches and he doesn't know how to make a sandwich?
Are you talking about the bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich in the morning?
No, I'm talking about bring a lunch.
Oh, bring him a lunch? He's lived on his own for 5 years. He doesn't live with Mama.
Like
Mama ain't living with him.
3.5. I make bacon, egg, and cheese sandwiches. I make cold cuts with chicken cold cuts specifically. I make beef and rice and all that, plenty of stuff. Plenty of bachelor stuff. But here's the thing. Now, packing a lunch is a different story, all right?
Why? Why don't you just bring a lunch?
Because I can knock out the bacon, egg, and cheese in the morning, which I didn't get to do this morning because of my alarms. And I usually just go right home and snag myself some
cold cuts.
Cold cuts.
You live in a parking lot where there's a Dunkin' Donuts. You work at a place right across the parking lot. There's Dunkin' Donuts and there's the Jimmy John's. Or not the Jimmy John's, the Five Guys.
4 guys now.
4 guys.
Jaden Daniels got on them.
Yeah. I'm just saying, bring a lunch. That's all.
Yeah. Or I could have Baumhauer's.
Maybe.
The Mets got some stud corner outfielders there, Tom.
Yeah.
Did you catch that little shindig that happened yesterday?
I did not. What did they do?
Hasn't been done in over 100 years. 3 outfield assists at home plate in the first 2 innings.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. The biggest baseball note I saw was that kid had hit 3 home runs in his first 3 at-bats. That was pretty cool.
That was interesting. It's nothing but downhill from here.
Yeah, right.
I mean, where do you go from there?
Right.
On a serious note, this Friday trifecta prize is $10,000, right?
Yes.
Worth of stuff. Is that okay?
Yes?
So, can I redo my pick?
Yeah. Anybody that's already made their picks in the future fecta portion of the Friday trifecta, which would be a total of 24 picks, anybody who's made their picks can adjust their picks between now and when toe meets leather. So yeah, you could update your picks. Say switch this one for that one and that one for this one.
Okay. All right.
Sure.
All right.
I know you're very concerned about that, but I'll tell you that outdoor kitchen is amazing, just absolutely amazing.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sure it is.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
All right.
Damn, I was going to bust Paulie Stones, and you totally ripped the rug out from underneath of me.
You got anything on 1995, our featured year today?
Yes. Neil O'Donnell threw two amazing completions to Larry Brown of the Dallas Cowboys, and the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl.
Was that the?
Got his third.
Was that the 95? Was that the Super Bowl in January of 95, or was that the after? Or was that the Super Bowl in 96 after the 95 season?
I don't know. That's what's so confusing about football and why it's not as good as baseball. Because
the
baseball,
49ers
say the year, it's the year.
The 49ers won the Super Bowl in 1995 by beating San Diego like the death, 49-26. Steve Young was the MVP, but I think that was after the 1994 season. I think that's the way that worked. Yeah.
I'm still going with the Dallas Cowboys winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Neil O'Donnell should have been the
93,
MVP.
95.
I think Neil O'Donnell should have been the MVP for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so good. Cowher was crushed. That was the best part of it. The best part of it.
Yeah.
I love seeing Bill Cowher sulk. That stupid look he gets on his face.
Is that the last? That's the last Super Bowl the Cowboys won, right? 30 years ago.
Yeah, it's been over 30 years. Hey, guess what? It's been 50 now for my freaking Mets. 50 years. 50.
How many?
5-0. That's half of a century. They have not been able to fall ass backwards into a World Series champion.
No,
Like,
40 years.
the
Hey, don't be aging us. What, 40 years, not 50. Can you do math?
86.
40 years. 86 is 40 years.
And then 20. That's 30. Okay, yeah, 40.
40 years. Don't be. If 86 is 50 years ago, I retired 5 years ago, and I haven't. So, get knucklehead.
Yeah, stupid. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
But we're going to win it next year.
Next year. Next year's the year for the Mets. All right, Philip, I appreciate you.
See, bye.
50 years ago? 1986 was 50 years ago? No. It's 40 years ago. Math is not his strong point. Yeah, the 49ers win the Super Bowl in January of 95, but I think that's after the 94 season. But they did. It was in Joe Robbie Stadium, ironically, as we celebrate 1995 here with Baumhauer's. The World League of American Football, they called it the LAF, but the World League of American Football resumed after 2 years. It hadn't played in 2 years. The Frankfurt Galaxy won the World Bowl by a score of 26-22 over the Amsterdam Admirals. All right. We had an entire football league, John, run by the NFL that was in Europe. It was the World League. And the whole thing, Berlin, they had a team, the Scottish team.
Oh, yeah.
They had the Montreal Monarchs, or not Montreal, the London Monarchs. They had all of these teams over there. It was the World League.
I have a bunch of football cards from that league. They don't go for much.
The NFL stopped doing it because it became, they were spending too much money on it. But, I think they would have a life again. I think if they did it again, it would work. I think there should be some sort of official minor league for the NFL. I really do. I think it would work. All right, let's get a break. When we come back, Josh Caray will join us. It's the Thom Abraham Show, off and running at Baumhauer's. More in a moment.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490 or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
No Wi-Fi?
How are we going to stream the game?
Mom, I have a research project due.
How are we going to make dinner?
Don't let power outages send your family into a meltdown. Get a Generac generator from Current Electrical. We keep your lights on and your Wi-Fi on. Visit gensuperstore.com or call 256-880-1880. Trust us, your family will thank you.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
When a team sticks together, it shows in the way they work and the way they treat you.
We don't just hire great people, they stay. On average, our managers have been with us over 15 years and company-wide turnover is under 3%.
It's a culture built on integrity and heart.
When you call, you get someone who knows your name, understands your business, and is invested in your success.
And that means service you can count on every time.
What better way to take in the beautiful fall than with a Forno outdoor kitchen from Owen Home Appliance? The one that we are featuring now is the Forno Ultra Qualita 5-burner 176-inch black outdoor kitchen kit, complete with the grill, a pizza oven, a sink, a beverage center, a flat top, and all the counter space you could want. This thing is amazing. Learn more at owenappliance.com and just search out Forno Outdoor Kitchen. Owen Appliance in Forno, a match made for the fall.
Baseball and softball players prepare for the spring with the 6th annual free preseason injury prevention screening night from Johnson & Hayes Physical Therapists. This one-on-one screening is based on the latest sports medicine research and evaluates key injury risk factors, including shoulder mobility, strength, stability, and hip function. Join us Tuesday, August 25th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. at our Huntsville Clinic and receive a personalized assessment, detailed results, and exercises tailored to help you stay healthy and perform at your best next season. The screening is free and open to all high school and college baseball and softball players. Don't let an injury sideline your season. Reserve your free screening today at johnsonandhayes.com. That's Tuesday, August 25th. And reserve your screening today at johnsonandhayes.com.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor at Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by the Docs at TOC. You know, I'm always talking about these people that I've known and trusted in the Tennessee Valley for over 20 years. Well, my buddy Tom Perkins and the Docs at TOC certainly fit that description. And when my own family has needed an orthopedic specialist, TOC was the only call to make. There is a reason why almost all the schools in the region use TOC, because they are trusted and they provide the kind of care people need. TOC is the orthopedic center. It's right there in the name, and they're right there when you need them.
Baseball, Klazuski, Campanella talking baseball. The man and Bobby Fella, the Scooter, the Barber and the Nuke. Austin to Dubuque, especially Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
And welcome back, Tom Abraham Show.
Hank Aaron was beginning, one Robbie going out, one coming in.
Rocket City Trash Pandas will begin the week 3 games back of Knoxville, a couple of games in front of Birmingham, which is playing a hair better than they had been. But the Trash Pandas with a tough week, lost 5 straight, and this Knoxville team is they're pretty good. You know, they're pretty good. There's a reason why they won the division in the first half of the season. They're not bad. So we'll get into that a little bit with Josh Caray of the Caray Broadcasting Dynasty. And also 1995. It's our featured year here at Baumhauer's is where we are at. The TVs have all been heated up, so they're all on now. We're getting closer and closer to the doors opening here as it remains the calm before the storm. But we got Golf Channel. We got, looks like SEC Network with Tennessee and Vandy from last year. That was a very fun game. We have got some other channels that are on as well. NFL Network is on and so on. So there's a lot of stuff going on here at Baumhauer's. We're joined now, though, by Josh Caray. Joins us not only on the Neighbors Wealth Management Hotline, but he is also with us on WZZN TV. Josh, welcome in, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right, Tom. Like you mentioned, we had a rough week last week in Knoxville, but we're back home this week taking on a pretty good Biloxi team, and it should be a lot of fun. The Brewers always have a lot of prospects to look at, and Rocket City, I think coming home will do them some good. So we're hoping for a good week here at Toyota Field.
So explain to the listeners what happens as far as the playoffs go, if the same team wins both halves, like Knoxville won the first half in the division. What happens next if Knoxville were to hang on and win the second half as well?
Yeah, well, it's pretty simple. It's whoever finishes second in the second half. So right now, Rocket City is 2 games up on Birmingham for second place. And right now, if the season ended today, Trash Pandas would be in the playoffs. So right now, team's still in a pretty good spot. You know, Birmingham has not overwhelmed anyone, and you know Chattanooga's having a rough second half. So I still like our chances. I just want the guys to play a little bit better.
Yeah, it's interesting that they do it that way because that completely negates the first half. I thought they took the first half and the second half, the overall combined second best record to get in. So it's just the second half, second place team.
Yeah, it is. I thought that too. I thought it was what you did for the entirety of the season, but apparently they changed that this season. Frankly, it makes it a little easier for all of us to figure out. And honestly, you're getting the best team possible at the time the season ends. There's so many teams that have a great first half and a bunch of guys get called up and then they have a bad second half. Chattanooga's kind of going through that right now. By the time the regular season ends, they're just not really capable of playing in a playoff series. So I think this helps even the playing field a little bit more, and hopefully we'll make for better competition once we get to playoff time.
The old Huntsville Stars in this week, Biloxi. And is there any juice left for that? I mean, do you think the fans at all? I know that the players, they don't care. They don't know the difference. But is there anything left as far as, you know, with the fans? Do they recognize the fact that this is the team that was here? This is the franchise, basically, that was here for so many years before?
I think it depends on, honestly, it depends on age. The folks who are older who were around for 1985 and Canseco and you know, guys like that, I think that means a lot to them. You know, but once you get to anyone who was a baseball fan, we'll say 2000 or later, it probably doesn't mean quite as much. Just because by that time, Joe Davis Field had started to tire and, you know, the crowds weren't as big. And, yeah, once you get to us and the Trash Pandas, I think this entire new generation, it's kind of is what it is. But I think the juice on that has pretty much left, unless you're an older fan, quite frankly.
Yeah, and I was just looking to see if they're doing. They're not doing the throwback jerseys, the Stars jerseys this week. I do not believe. I mean, that would be the time to do it, I suppose, against those. But a lot of great promotions coming up all week long.
Yeah, again, we'll have fireworks like we always do, and Dog Day is going to be tonight, so we'll have that as well. We'll have our wine special on tomorrow, so we got that going on, and you know, we're just grinding away at what has been another great year here at Toyota Field. And I think just to make things a little more fun, we got an entertaining team to watch, a fun team. So, we got all these new guys who've just joined the organization. It's really a fun product to watch. Just need to get right this week and see if we can get some wins over a good Biloxi team.
It's interesting. Wednesday is also Hartselle High School night, and Hartselle will be heard here on Friday night as they open the high school season against Bob Jones, which is a Madison mainstay there. And I'll be on the call for that game between Bob Jones and Hartselle. And it's hard to imagine. I mean, the high school football season starting already. When the high school football season starts, we know that we're 3 or 4 weeks away from the end of the regular season in Double A,
Yeah, I've always liked this time of year. I think it's a lot of fun whenever baseball and football overlap. The weather tends to chill out a little bit now, and it's not as hot. It's not as humid. Obviously, it provides a challenge for us on Fridays and Saturdays just going up against high school and college football. But I just think it's such a great time of year because everyone down here loves football, and baseball is reaching its most important time of the year, too. So it's a great time of year if you're a sports fan to really absorb all this. And, unlike last season, this year you got something to really sink your teeth into when it comes to Trash Pandas baseball. So we're pumped up, we're excited, and, we look forward to the last month of the regular season.
Well, here at Baumhauer's, we're celebrating 45 years of Baumhauer's, and we feature a different year every Tuesday that we are here every other week. And so this week we're featuring 1995, which is the year that Baumhauer's moved to Balmoral Drive. They were at that location for some 25 years before moving to this beautiful location that they're out on the South Memorial Parkway. But 1995 was a special year for the Atlanta Braves. First of all, in baseball, that was a short season, right? That was a 144-game season. It felt like a minor league season. It was a 144-game season because it was coming off the strike of 94, and where there was no World Series. Baseball got going again in 95, and the Braves were 90-54 that year, which was the best record in the National League, and they go on to win their first World Series title. It was the 30th year in Atlanta and the first World Series title for the Atlanta Braves. And I know for you, I'm guessing you were 14 or 15 years old when that went down. So that's like prime time, for you.
Yeah, I was 14. I was there for all 3 of the home World Series games that season. What I remember, oddly enough, was because we were coming out of the strike, they were going to use replacement players at the beginning of the season if no deal had been matched. I remember when the team came up from spring training early April, they had a couple of exhibition games at Fulton County Stadium just to kind of get ready for the year. And I went with Dad. The game was on TBS, and I had no idea who was playing for either team. You had no names that you recognized. The crowd, there was about 15,000 people. They gave them a standing ovation when they jogged out on the field just because they were just happy to see some baseball. But that's what I remember. And then maybe a couple of days later, they came to a deal. And there was like a 2-week spring training, and the season got started in late April. Atlanta cruised through the regular season, and it set up a great playoff run. And I sometimes wonder if maybe having a slightly shortened season may have helped the ball club just because they didn't have to grind as much doing 144 as opposed to 162.
Well, and the Indians had a great year that year. They were the favorites in that World Series. Everybody thought this was finally, first time since 1954 or whatever it was, the Cleveland Indians were going to finally break through. And this was a matchup of 2 teams that had a lot of heartache, right? I mean, the Braves had become a really good team, couldn't get over the hump. And now all of a sudden they were running into an Indians team. So somebody was going to break, a long time deal here. The Indians were 144 that year. They were 10 games better than the Braves, but the Braves had the pitching staff. And Tom Glavine ends up being the MVP of that series.
Yeah, a lot of people forget Tom had a great game, too. That was the game where Javi Lopez picked off, I believe it was a very young Manny Ramirez at first base. I think it was in the 7th inning. The tying run was at the plate. They make that great pickoff, and that really set up the win there. The Indians that year, that was the year they had Albert Bell and Eddie Murray. Kenny Lofton was at the top of the lineup. They had Carlos Baerga, who was really good. Manny Ramirez, like I mentioned, a young Jim Thome was on that ball club. They were loaded. But they didn't have the pitching. They didn't have the pitching that Atlanta did, and they had a very young team. So when you have a bunch of young guys going up against a Maddox, a Glavine, even a John Smoltz, that can really eliminate a few things. And fortunately, that's what happened. And Atlanta was able to eke out their first World Series ever.
The other thing that was notable that year, amongst other many notable things, remember Ron Gant? He broke his leg in a dirt bike accident. And so it was like, all right, it's time to give the young kid a shot at third. And Chipper Jones became the regular third baseman after sharing some time with Ron Gant the year before. He becomes the regular third baseman because Ron Gant broke his leg, and the next thing you know, he's a Hall of Famer.
Well, yeah, Chipper actually took over for Terry Pendleton. So Terry Pendleton had been there for the first few years, and then Terry moved on, and that opened a spot for Chipper because, frankly, it was just Chipper's time. He had dominated minor league ball, and when he got called up, he was actually a finalist for the Rookie of the Year award. He wound up losing to a guy named Hideo Nomo, who was pitching for the Dodgers. Meanwhile, for Ron Gant, you're right. He had just signed a lucrative deal, and he was going to be in Atlanta the next several years. He gets on a motorbike, breaks his leg, so the deal becomes null and void. They wind up releasing him, and a guy named Ryan Klesko wound up playing left field, which was not a great fit. Ryan was a first baseman by trade, but they already had Fred McGriff. So it's like, okay, where do we put this guy? There's no DH. And so he went out to left field, and he did the best he could. He was serviceable just enough, but really he was in there for his bat. And he had a couple of big home runs in the postseason as well. So he came along at the right time as well.
Yeah, Pendleton ends up getting traded to the Marlins. Gant ends up with the Cincinnati Reds, and then Chipper Jones. The rest is history with him. The other thing that was interesting when I look back at 1995 was the broadcasting situation. This was an era, getting near the end of this era, but this was an era where guys did both TV and radio and rotated. So, your dad, Skip Caray, along with Pete Van Wieren, Don Sutton, and Joe Simpson, they did the games on TBS, but they also did the games on WSB AM, and there'd be like two guys in the TV booth, two guys in the radio booth, and then they'd switch, right? I mean, they were still rotating. I remember the Yankees did that with Phil Rizzuto and Frank Messer and those guys. They did the same thing.
Oh yeah, the reason I know Turner did it is because all four were under contract to Turner Broadcasting. They wanted to make sure they earned their keep, so they went ahead and flipped back and forth. And you know what? It was the smart thing to do because Dad and Pete had two very different play-by-play styles. By that time, you have Don Sutton and Joe Simpson working together, who both had very different perspectives as analysts. Joe was a guy who had to fight every day for a roster spot. Nothing was guaranteed for him out of spring training. Meanwhile, Don was a future Hall of Famer and a pitcher to boot. So just getting those two guys on, and I think that was really the big crux behind it, was getting both analysts involved, because one could talk about pitching and being a star. The other could talk about being an everyday player who is riding at the end of the bench and just trying to survive every day. I thought it was really a great mix, and it really served the fans very well. And it kept the guys on their toes because calling a game on TV is very different from radio. And it really forced Dad and Pete to use their brains and to use all their skill sets. So it was a good time. It was really a great time to be a part of that.
And I completely forgot about Sports South. How many games did Sports South do? Tim Brando on those games for Sports South, along with Ernie and Ernie Jr. So I completely forgot about them. How many did they do?
I want to say about 25, maybe 30 games. That was first created by Ted Turner because he needed an extra well, one, he wanted more sports programming, but two, he wanted an extra platform for the Braves and for the Hawks so he could air whatever John Wayne movie he wanted on Wednesday nights or whatever else, or wrestling or whatever it is else he had going on. But they put that together, and that actually wound up becoming many moons later. That wound up becoming Fox Sports South, and then it became Fox Sports Net, and it became Bally's, and then it became FanDuel. So we all know how that worked. But Yeah, that was the start of really something special there. You would have never have thought it when it was first launched in the early '90s what it would become, but it became really a remarkable part of television history.
Yeah, all over the country they would have those networks like that, and then, then it's kind of collapsed, and for the most part now, which has created a lot of angst for sure. Josh Caray with us here. All right, to the current day, just. This American League wild card race is insane. Have you seen this thing? I mean, the Yankees and the Red Sox are in. It looks like they're in, and there's a good chance they're going to play each other. But the Orioles, the Rangers, now the Detroit Tigers were left for dead. Those three teams are 61 and 64, and they're all tied for the final wild card spot. Then you've got the Twins and the Blue Jays a half a game back. There's a possibility, a good possibility, that the entire AL East is going to make the playoffs. Guardians are just a game back, and the Mariners are 2 games back. Everybody except for 3 teams with, a month and a half left in the season, everybody but 3 teams within 2 games of the playoffs in the American League. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild there, and then you flip it over and you look at the NL. It's a little more reasonable, right? I mean, you got 3 teams in the NL who are 2 games back. You got the Diamondbacks, you got the Marlins, and then you got the Cardinals. And then after that, you got 6 teams who are 6.5 back or more. So it just shows you that right now, the parity is a little more structured in the AL. But I think the better baseball is in the NL right now. I mean, between the Braves and the Dodgers and what those teams are doing, obviously between the Cubs and the Brewers, someone's going to pop out of there. You look at the AL right now, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of parity, but no one really blows you away. I mean, I guess the Rays are really good, but, the Yankees can beat them in a 7-game series. You look at the West, it's not overpowering right now. The Rangers are tops, I think. And then you look at the American League Central, the White Sox are having a nice season, but they don't wow me either. So I think whoever comes out of the American League is going to come out of the East, but it's not. It's about as up for grabs of a league as any that I've seen, and it's because most of the talent's in the National League, and there's just no runaway horse right now in American League Baseball. And until the Rays can prove to me they can win the entire thing, I'm just not convinced with them.
Well, the Yankees, they'll have to win. They would have to win 4 games in a best-of-7 series, 2-1, because there's no offense. They got to get some of those bats back. And I almost wonder now, with them locked into the playoff, pretty much locked into the playoff, and maybe not. They run down the Rays for the division, but it almost feels like they're just slow playing Judge and Stanton, especially. Stanton's been a stud in the postseason. I don't think they even care if he plays until the end of September. Get him a couple of, a week worth of games or whatever, and get him ready for the postseason. And Aaron Judge has struggled in the postseason, but it's almost like there's no sense of urgency to get those guys back in there, but they're going to have these guys back in there at some point. And don't forget Bellinger as well. Without those guys, I don't know where they're going. It feels like it could be the Rays, which takes me off even more because they don't deserve to have baseball in Tampa, because they don't even show up for the best team in the American League, and they don't even show up.
What's funny is it kind of reminds you of the 95 Braves in a lot of ways. Atlanta would win going away, and they would start to rest guys, and you start to wonder, okay, when do we get them back in, and when do we get them back in the flow of things? And that's just kind of what it is right now for the Yankees, but that's kind of what it is throughout baseball. Look, people look at the Dodgers, and they're struggling, but does it really matter? They're going to be there. The Braves are going to be there. Unfortunately, whenever you extend the playoffs, you put less of an emphasis on the regular season. And even though this is getting down to a real fun time of year for baseball, there's not really a whole lot of push behind it right now, because the teams that are trying to get into the playoffs and it would create that type of fervent atmosphere, well, no one really thinks they're going to be a World Series contender. So it's unfortunate, but that's just kind of what it is right now. And as a result, you don't really have to push anyone back. You just want to make sure you're there come October.
Josh Caray has been our guest. Josh, it was great to reminisce about 1995. Great to have you as well. Have a wonderful week out at Toyota Field.
All right, Tom. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
You too. All right, we're going to break in here. We'll come back, set you up for hour number 2 next, right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com.
The Atlanta Falcons visiting the Indianapolis Colts on Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium for an afternoon preseason matchup. The Colts have been bet up to a 3.5-point favorite, despite the fact that Colts head coach Shane Steichen says starters will not play against the Falcons. The total, 37.5 at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Atlanta Braves at other 32 road favorite of the Minnesota Twins today. Twins plus 109, 8.5 over the total at Target Field. It'll be Tyler Mahle for the Braves. Debbie Matthews on the mound for the Twins. And Scotty Scheffler, the 3-1 favorite to win this week's BMW Championship in St. Louis. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Coming up this week on the High School Streaming Network.
Week 0 is here. Our coverage begins on Thursday with Randolph at Pisgah. Friday features Bob Jones at Hartselle over the airwaves of 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Madison Academy visits Mars Hill. Sparkman plays host to Spain Park. And Westminster Christians at home to Madison County. Be sure and download our app and follow all the action right here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
Hey, I'm Bobby White for Lynn Layton Ford Indicator. Summer is flying by and our summer sales event is coming to an end soon. But there's still time to lock in low, amazing summer deals. Now's your last chance to get 0% financing, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 maintenance for 2 years, and $1,000 down payment assistance on a huge selection of new Fords. With your good credit, get up to $6,000 off MSRP on 26 Broncos. $6,000 off. While they last, get $7,500 off MSRP on a 25 Bronco Sport. $7,500 off. The last new 2026 STX Crew Cab started under $46,000, and Lynn Layton Ford will never add any dealer dock fees or some ridiculous upcharge. Don't miss out on 0%, 0 payments for 90 days, 0 cost for maintenance for 2 years, and $1,000 in down payment assistance. Hurry into Lynn Layton Ford, right in the heart of Ford Country, just a mile south of the Beltline Indicator, or online anytime at LynnLaytonFord.com.
Bronco 28442T, Bronco Sport 28032D, F-150 28485T. See dealer for details.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are our grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490 or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Your Fox 54 weather.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly sunny sky this afternoon. Temperature's going to be a little bit lower on the backside of a cold front. Temperature's climbing into the lower 90s. It's also not going to be as humid as it has been over the last couple of days, so in general, it is going to feel a bit more comfortable outside. We drop into the upper 60s, lower 70s as we head into the overnight. A mostly sunny sky for your Wednesday. Temperature's climbing into the low 90s.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the Thom Abraham Show is brought to you by Ross Roberts and his team at Valley Equipment Rental, and they have a brand new product for you. If you happen to be standing on a concrete or tile floor, Valley Equipment has the exact machine for you. Now, whether it's new construction or daily work environments or an area that's been neglected for far too long, the Valley Equipment team of experienced professionals can help you get the right floor scrubber or sweeper for your needs. Call Valley Equipment and ask them for more details on how they can help you out today. The doors have swung open 5 minutes early. Besides, because the lobby was pretty much jammed here at Baumhauer's as folks are coming in. The final chairs are coming down. Folks are pouring in to Baumhauer's for lunch. Got me hungry just thinking about it right now.
Same.
Yeah. I might do something, John.
Bam Bam Tacos. Come on now. Come on now.
I don't know if it's going to be Bam Bam Tacos, but maybe. You never know. We can't sit around and eat in front of everybody else, though.
I'll eat them before I even get into that room.
Yo, you won't, because I won't be back until 12 after, probably.
I'll go on a bathroom break, and they'll be gone.
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes.
All right, coming up next, maybe Kennington, Lloyd Smith III from the AP in Tuscaloosa. Might be a little bit later. We'll see right here on the Thom Abraham Show.
The Orthopedic Center. It's in the name. TOC, the premier choice for all your orthopedic needs. With over 40 physicians and 20 centers of excellence, TOC is the name to trust for complete, expert orthopedic care. And that word center, we mean it. With more than a dozen locations across North Alabama and the Tennessee Valley, TOC is in your community whenever you need us. As the state's largest orthopedic practice, TOC is built on trust. Trust we've earned with every patient we serve. You can see that trust on the field, too. As the official sports medicine provider for the Huntsville Havoc, Huntsville City Football Club, Oakwood and Alabama A&M universities, thousands of athletes and coaches count on TOC to keep them in the game. From student athletes to unexpected injuries, our urgent ortho clinics offer prompt, expert care, no appointment necessary. So remember, when it comes to your health and mobility, trust the name that says it all. TOC, helping you live a better life.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
What better way to take in the beautiful fall than with a Forno outdoor kitchen from Owen Home Appliance? The one that we are featuring now is the Forno Ultra Qualita 5-burner 176-inch black outdoor kitchen kit, complete with the grill, a pizza oven, a sink, a beverage center, a flat top, and all the counter space you could want. This thing is amazing. Learn more at owenappliance.com and just search out Forno Outdoor Kitchen. Owen Appliance in Forno, a match made for the fall. Make Baumhauer's Victory Grill your big game headquarters all of the 2026 season. You'll see why Baumhauer's has been voted best wings in Alabama and the #1 sports-themed restaurant in the state. With over 70-plus jumbo flat-screen TVs and state-of-the-art audio systems in each Baumhauer's, you'll be guaranteed a true stadium experience that'll make you feel like you're at the game. Baumhauer's also has a great new big game headquarters menu to help kick off the season, featuring several fan favorites at great prices. How about an ice-cold beer with those wings? Yingling and Yingling Flight pitchers are only $7.99, with pints going for only $2.99.
WZZN, Union Grove, Huntsville, Alabama. 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
It is Tuesday, August the 18th, 2026. Steve Moulton here with your update. The preseason AP poll is out, and Ohio State is ranked number 1 for the 9th time since 2015. 9 appearances in the top preseason poll match Alabama for the second most by any program. The most appearances as a preseason number 1, Oklahoma, who has 10. In Major League Baseball, the Braves fell to Minnesota. 4-2 was that final. Phillies were winners over Miami 6-5. The lead in the NL East is down to 6.5 games. The Rocket City Trash Pandas look to bounce back in a homestand beginning tonight at Toyota Field as they welcome in the Biloxi Shuckers. You'll hear that game tonight on Talk Radio WZZN and Joined in Progress here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Ryan Harbin and his team at All About Water. I recently met with Ryan about a drainage issue and was thoroughly impressed with his professionalism and knowledge. And now on September 19th, you can see firsthand what these guys can do at Pond Tour 2026. You visit projects where they have built backyard water features right in the area, and you can ask questions, and it's all free. RSVP at allaboutwaterllc.com or visit their Facebook page for participating addresses.
You need to be more like a dog.
Like what you guys are doing. You've got your fingertip on the pulse of your listeners. You guys know what they're talking about.
Be a dog.
God bless the show. You are the Messiah.
We need more dogs.
This is the best show on radio.
The big dog, Thom Abraham, is here with you.
Hey, I see you. Hey, I see you, dog.
So settle in and get your bark on.
That's my dog.
Now live, here he is, the big dog, Thom Abraham.
How you doing? 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 Look, I don't speak Spanish.
I don't know how to say this, so I'm going to choose my words very carefully. I think you're a psycho.
Do you know who I am?
I mean, that guy sounds like El McPherson farting into Miles Davis' trumpet.
I guess I'm on here. Am I on? Can somebody respond?
Get off my
I have to drag my Yankee ass out of here.
And welcome in. It's a Top 10 Tuesday in the Doghouse. Back in the saddle today after a travel day yesterday. Good to be here at my favorite place on the planet, or one of them anyway, Baumhauer's Victory Grill, where they celebrate 45 years in business. And, in the Tennessee Valley, Baumhauer's has bounced around to 4 different locations. But in 1995, they moved into the Balmoral Drive location, where we did a ton of shows over the years at that Balmoral Drive location. That's where I met Tom Luganbill. They were there almost 25 years. I mean, it was the first place that I had visited, first place that I did remotes when I got to the Tennessee Valley. And that back room there, that was legendary. Some of the remotes that we did there back in the day. Somebody sent me a text, Bama Chris, saying he remembered the T-shirt remotes that we used to do every week there during the season, during the Alabama season, and so on. It was really, really cool stuff. So that was 1995. We're celebrating 1995. I've been talking about 1995 today. Nebraska was on a heater then. Nebraska won 3 natties in 4 years. They won in 94, 95, 97. 96 was Steve Spurrier's championship year. In 95 SEC championship games, the Gators hammered Arkansas 34-3, and it was their 3rd straight SEC championship title. They won again the following year by beating Alabama. They had beaten Alabama in 93 and 94. Alabama beat them in 92 in the initial SEC championship game. So that's kind of the way that went. Of course, in 95, the Atlanta Braves breaking through and winning the World Series as well. So if you got 1995 memories that you want to share, certainly you can go ahead and share those as well. Now, Kennington Lloyd Smith III is in a meeting. He's going to join us hopefully in the next segment. We'll see how that all works out. But that means that phone lines go open for you as we add a new audience to the show, listening in Nashville on Nashville Sports Radio and in Murfreesboro. Go along with our friends at 97.7 ESPN, The Zone in Huntsville, and, of course, ESPN Winchester in Winchester, Tennessee. Your phone line is open right now, 256-576-4977. Good wherever, however you consume the show, you can use that. We got a text window for you as well. We'll read and react to those on the air. 732-9TA-SHOW, 732-982-7469. Bama Brad tells us about the great game last night in Chicago on the north side between the Cubs and the White Sox. Cubs win that game 7-5 in extras. And what is one of the things that's pretty hilarious about that game is spontaneously during the game, a Packers suck chant broke out at Wrigley Field, John. I mean, that's pretty cool. They got Cubs fans, you got White Sox fans, mostly Cubs fans because it's on the north side. And then all of a sudden they all join together and start chanting. During the baseball game, they start chanting Packers suck, who they'll play on opening day.
Yeah, it seems like the rivalry runs a little bit thick up there, huh?
Well, let me tell you something. When the Patriots won their first Super Bowl at the Patriot Parade, all right, when the Patriot had a ticker tape parade after they won their first Super Bowl in, what was that, 2001, 2002, something like that, they had the parade, and during the parade, the fans were chanting Yankees suck. That's what they were chanting during the parade. So, yeah, you know, those rivalries are a thing. So that's
pretty big deal.
That's out there. Yeah. I'll tell you what, I cannot believe how fast this place fills up. I mean, it is just amazing. They opened the doors, when I said they opened the doors, 5 minutes before opening time at 11 o'clock here. And literally, I see 2 tables open, 3 tables maybe open, but people are still coming in and getting seated. Every table in this joint will be filled within the next 15 minutes or so. I bet every table in this joint is filled. People just love Baumhauer's.
Yeah.
It's just such a great place to come to.
Funny enough, you can actually hear the squeak of the door open up and also the amount of people that are talking in the background.
Yeah. I mean, they're just absolutely pouring in. It's just it's crazy.
Because they all want to get those the Bam Bam shrimp tacos.
Is that what you want? Bam Bam shrimp tacos. I'm reticent unless I can get them to give me like a whole tray of like chicken lips or something like that for the rest of the guys.
Just bring it. I'm telling you, I'll hit a bathroom break. All right, I'll be gone for 3 minutes. Those tacos will also be going.
Shrimp tacos. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that works out. I'm not going for any bathroom breaks during the meeting. There's a reason I'm here, and it's not just to hang out here. The TVs are all going. They have got, what am I looking at? NFL Network is showing a replay of the Washington-Miami game. By the way.
Yes, I knew you were going to say this. I knew you were going to say this.
God. Oh, my Lord. Are those Washington uniforms spectacular?
They look so good. The face masks, too. It's the perfect combination. It's what you wanted to see out of the Tennessee Titans with a red face mask, but you get the Washington Commanders with the yellow face mask.
It is absolutely gorgeous, and I'm not even bothered by the fact that it has a W on the side as opposed to having having the Indian on the side. It doesn't matter. They could have worn that all along, and I'd have been fine with that. I mean, it is just absolutely beautiful uniform. That clown that said that it was the second worst uniform in the entire NFL is absolutely wrong. It's going to be interesting to see. They never wore that setup at home back in the day. They always wore the burgundy pants and the white tops. So I'm wondering if they're going to be wearing the burgundy tops with the white pants. But that uniform right there, I'm looking at it again right now. That helmet with the 3 stripe on it and the W is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I would say the one thing you could do to make that helmet a little bit better, change the font of the W, because I don't think it matches the rest of the look that the Commanders are going with right now. I would say turn it into something cursive, but also not too much similar to the Washington Nationals cursive. I'm thinking more of the Redskins R, but in that font, but with the W instead.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you could do with it. I just thought that it was – I just think it looks beautiful.
It does.
I mean, it just looks absolutely gorgeous. And the grass surface there looks gorgeous, as opposed to, if you want to talk for a moment about the good, the bad, and the ugly from the preseason over the weekend. Look, we're way overreacting. That's what we do. We're going to way overreact to the first week of preseason. There's only 3 weeks of preseason. A lot of starting quarterbacks played, which I thought was interesting. A lot didn't play as well, as which is typical, but more than normal did play. I think less might play this week. More will play the following week, maybe, in the final tune-up. But, the good, not only that Washington, I just want to say Redskins. I mean, it just looks like the Redskins. Not only that Washington Commander uniform, but the other good is look, Ty Simpson, man. Look, in preseason, you can watch preseason games and you can get a sense of a guy that looks like an NFL guy. You know what I mean? You don't know that the guy's going to be a star or anything like that, but you can get a sense as to whether or not a guy looks like an NFL guy. Ty Simpson, a guy who's been doubted his whole career. He's hung around Alabama for 4 years to get a chance to start for 1 year. Ty Simpson looks like an NFL quarterback. I understand I'm overreacting, but 21 to 25 for 190 yards and a 125 quarterback ranking. That looks like an NFL quarterback. I'm just going to say. Yep. The bad would be Tua Tagovailoa, and I don't want to just put it on Tua.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I think that the Falcons altogether, they were matched up against a really talented Broncos team, and yes, it was a mess. But Tua and
3 passes. I think he was 2 of 3 or something.
Most of them were to Kyle Pitts. That is going to be a combination that you're going to look at for fantasy. For people maybe drafting a little bit later in that, I would say definitely a 1-2 punch would be Tua and Pitts.
Speaking of fantasy, August 27th, which is a week from Thursday, the DFL draft is at Carrabba's a week from Thursday, so stay loose for that as well. So anyway, Ty Simpson, I thought he looked like an NFL quarterback. In that game, I thought that he looked decent in that game. I thought that the Falcons were a mess all the way around. And not only were the Falcons a mess all the way around, if we're going to talk about how beautiful the Washington Commander uniform is, we have to talk about how really melancholy and bad the Falcons uniform looked. I thought they missed again. You see these things on their hype videos, and you think, okay, that might be pretty cool. And then you see them on the field during an actual game, and you look at what you're looking at. I thought they were weak. I thought they were the Jaguars weak. They were just so plain and so melancholy. I didn't like them at all. I don't know. What was your thought when they keep missing? They have the beautiful opportunity to go with the red helmet and the black jersey, with the outline and everything else. I thought they went from stupid with the gradients to extremely plain. It looked like a practice uniform.
Yeah, and it's interesting because that game against the Broncos got new gear last year. It was kind of just that new era of NFL compared to some of the other games that we saw across the league. But, I'll admit, it's a great colorway. You can't really mess it up. But I feel like the Falcons did kind of just –
they messed it up.
Let's just be as basic as we can. I like the font for the numbers, but that's about all it is.
Throw some trim in it. It's black and red is a great color combination. Just do it better. Just do better. I mean, it just went too plain. I thought the Rams are sneaking up on wearing actual Rams gear that would look beautiful. The Rams, when they wear their throwbacks to the Lawrence McCutcheon, Eric Dickerson era uniforms, are absolutely gorgeous. They got a little bit better. They got rid of the gradient. They cleaned up the pants a little bit. They're sneaking up on doing the right thing. They still haven't done the right thing, but they're sneaking up on it.
Yeah. I think their whole locker room full of all these different versions of uniforms from Rams,
stupid
future and past. I don't like it right now, and I'm still waiting for that revision to hit.
The ugly, and this one blows my mind. By the way, you talk about the Titans, how the Titans should have the red face mask. The Bills should have a blue face mask, first of all. The Bills, same thing. The white face mask on white helmets looks bad. I don't even like the white face mask on the Browns' orange helmet. I think the Browns were 1,000 times better with the brown face mask, which I pined for years. The white face mask, I think, on the Browns helmet is nasty as well. But the white on the white for the Bills and the Titans is bad. But that's not the ugly. For me, if I'm going good to bad in the ugly is Did you see the field in Buffalo? The new turf, the grass field in Buffalo?
Yeah.
What the heck? How do you miss on that? The field, the players said the field was trash. Now, here's the thing, the funny thing. The players said the field was trash, but they'd rather play on a trash natural grass field than a synthetic field, right? So they said they still liked it better than synthetic, but it was like chunky in spots and it looked burned out. How do you miss on that? I'm looking at the Washington game on the TV here. The field is beautiful. We just saw the World Cup, and they slapped these turf fields down, natural grass fields down, in all of these stadiums in a month, and they looked impeccable. They look like a golf course. They look like Augusta in the fairway. And the Bills have had 2 years to put a field in their stadium, and it looks like somebody went out there with Miracle Grow and some seed and just threw it down and then hoped that maybe it would come around. How did the Bills miss on the field?
Yeah, I'm no expert on how grass is and the different types of grass that you could use. But for a brand new stadium, you make a point. But at the same time, it was a day game. It's different. How's it going to look during the night game?
I think they're going to redo it. I think they're going to actually redo the field. I think they're going to have to resod the entire field. I mean, it's just mind-boggling to me. I mean, first it was the sight lines, right? We had to hear about the Highmark Stadium's sight lines. There was hundreds of fans that their sight lines are completely blocked from a big portion of the field. But now the field itself is trash. And it's almost like, are they doing it on purpose so that they can replace it eventually with synthetic turf and say, look, we tried. We can't grow a field in Western New York? That's garbage. Did you see the soccer field at in Foxborough at the outdoor stadium, same plane, in Foxborough, Massachusetts, when they played the World Cup there? That outdoor field was spectacular. Spectacular. They put it in a month. You're telling me that the Buffalo Bills can't have a beautiful field like that? The Browns field, the Steelers field look great. The Packers field looks great. And that's what the Bills came up with? Building a new stadium, and that's the first time that you're on TV, the first time that people see your stadium? It was hideous. It was a travesty. It was a mockery. It was a travesty and a mockery. It was terrible. All right, let me get Natty Danny in here. Natty Danny, welcome to the show. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing a lot better. I was even more better last night. My grandson, I should say, big Michigan man, all right? And he's the athlete, okay? 10 years old, playing 12-year-olds. He's the defensive end, a la Aiden Hutchinson.
Nice.
Had 4 tackles, 2 from catching him from behind, a sack, and a fumble recovery. How about that?
That's good. It's good job by him.
And these kids are older than he is.
Wait a minute. Is this padded up or is this flag football?
Padded up, baby.
All right. Good.
Yeah.
Sounds like he's tougher. He sounds like he's tougher than his
grandfather.
Sounds like he's tougher than his grandfather, who couldn't play. He gave up on playing tackle football. Huh?
Yeah, that's because our coach was a jerk. If I'd have had my junior high coach, that'd be a totally different thing. Coaches do a lot of things. They could be really good, and they could really suck. And my coach sucked. Okay? Period.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. How's that for an answer? Hey,
there you go.
Speaking of jerseys, Honolulu blue and the black. Honolulu pants, black jersey with the black in the helmet.
Hideous.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Why don't you just wear the Barry Sanders gear? I mean, it's hideous. The Lions had one of the best uniforms in football, and they had to bastardize it. Black isn't a Lions color. First of all, it's not even in the color wheel for the Lions. The Lions need to just be wearing the Barry Sanders gear. Remember when Barry was there, sometimes they wore the blue breeches. I liked those blue pants that they wore then with the white jerseys, you know what I mean? As an alternate to the silver pants. But I just wish they would go back to just go all the way back and wear Lions gear.
All right, relax. Okay, so
I'm just
we're okay. Hey, listen, man. We're just talking about football, but you know what? I'm out here and get ready to bust my butt a little bit around the house and then go do a killer workout. Listen, Tom, I'm telling you, I smell it in the air. I feel in the air. There's a little chill in the air. Even though it's 90, you got that cool breeze, Tom. It's about to go down.
Well, I tell you what, and as the high school football gets started this week, the weather's going to be actually pretty nice. I got to look at Friday night to see what it looks like. Yeah, it's actually pretty nice there as well. 85 Friday, but 85 degrees today. It'll be in the high 80s later in the week. Saturday and Sunday are amazing, man. 86 and sunny on Saturday, 84 on Sunday, 60s at night. Oh, yeah. We know it's not going to last, but at least it'll be decent weather. But yeah, it's in the air. High school starts on Friday night. Yeah.
Changing the subject real quick, and I'll get off the last take. I was on my deck this morning cleaning my little skimmer, my little handheld skimmer at the top.
Yeah.
And then I stepped on a board, and I didn't screw it. And it popped up, it hit me in the leg. Oh, my God, I didn't screw this board down. So I go ahead and screw the board down. I'm on the other side. I'm in front of the skimmer and heater chiller. I have a heater chiller. And I'll tell you what, Tom, that blew out ice-cold air. So this chiller... you got to understand something. And a lot of people have pools, and they know a little bit about pools. And I know a little bit, but not a lot. But I do know this. The smaller pool you have, the hotter the water's going to get. And, this is an only 8-foot pool all the way around. That's the circumference of it is 8 foot. And it's 760 gallons of water. So you would think maybe it would be hot. But this heater chiller, Tom, I can keep my temperature in that pool any way I want it.
Yeah. I thought you said it was 12 foot. Sure it's 8 foot?
It's an 8 foot all the way around, yeah.
8 foot? It's tiny. That's only like 2 feet bigger than you are.
Tom, come over here with the wife. Bring your suit.
It's like a bathtub. 8 foot's like a bathtub. That's only, let's see, you're 6 foot, so 6 foot and 8 foot is 2 feet. If you went to go swimming, it would be very difficult because you would take one.
Tom, you don't swim. You lay in the pool and relax.
Oh, okay. I'm going to get one of those swim spa things.
Retired, so you know what relaxing is yet.
Yeah. I was looking at some this morning. My wife and I were actually looking at what they call micro pools or whatever, but they were like 12 feet wide and 18 feet long, and they were called small. They were fiberglass ones. So.
Okay, just hang in there. I'll give you information.
Plunge pool.
All right, listen, have a great day.
No, you too. Plunge pools, John. That's what they were calling them. We were looking at these plunge pools, and they're like 12 feet wide and like 18 feet long. Well, you can get them down to maybe 16 feet. A plunge pool, and they've got like little ledges in there and stuff like that. We're actually thinking about it. Our little backyard might turn into a whole pool site. With the only reason your mother doesn't want to do it is that she's afraid that you people will all come over all the time then. And she would like to.
But if there's no diving board, then I'm not going to really be hopping in it too much.
Yeah, well, she says the last thing we need is something to attract more of our people back. We between the 9 kids and the 15 grandkids, that's like 24 people, and they'll just never leave us alone. To be honest with you, we'll be left alone once.
Seems like she wants me to be over there all the time.
She does. She loves you. She loves you. Of all of her kids, you're definitely one of her favorites.
There you go.
You're high on the list.
Oh yeah,
you're high on the
top
list.
9.
You're in the top 9. Is right. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll see what's going on with Kennington Lloyd Smith. We'll see if we get him. If not, got some other stuff. Phone lines could remain open, so we'll see if that works out for you. And I am going to get this crazy Jerry Falk story in as well. If those of you who haven't heard this story about the assistant coach at Gunnersville High School and what happened with him, it is just mind-numbing story. It's just crazy. All right, we'll come back with more from Baumhauer's right after this on the Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This is Brent Musburger's VSiN Action Update on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Drivers who switch to Progressive have an annual savings of nearly $750. Progressive.com. The Atlanta Falcons visiting the Indianapolis Colts on Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium for an afternoon preseason matchup. The Colts have been bet up to a 3.5-point favorite, despite the fact that Colts head coach Shane Steichen says starters will not play against the Falcons. The total, 37.5 at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Atlanta Braves at other 32 road favorite of the Minnesota Twins today. Twins plus 109, 8.5 over the total at Target Field. It'll be Tyler Mahle for the Braves. Debbie Matthews on the mound for the Twins. And Scotty Scheffler, the 3-1 favorite to win this week's BMW Championship in St. Louis. For more, go to VSIN.com. Mike Sennett, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
Mark your calendars for September 19th as All About Water invites you to Pond Tour 2026, a free self-guided walkthrough of real ponds and water features that they've built right here in the Huntsville area. Talk to them on site, ask questions, see the craftsmanship up close, no pressure, no appointment. Whether you're picturing a small backyard fountain or a full koi pond with waterfalls, this is your chance to see what's possible for free. RSVP at allaboutwaterllc.com or check out their Facebook page on the day of for participating addresses. Your backyard could be next.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary, but it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188, and you can email me at Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
What better way to take in the beautiful fall than with a Forno outdoor kitchen from Owen Home Appliance? The one that we are featuring now is the Forno Ultra Qualita 5-burner 176-inch black outdoor kitchen kit, complete with the grill, a pizza oven, a sink, a beverage center, a flat top, and all the counter space you could want. This thing is amazing. Learn more at owenappliance.com and just search out Forno Outdoor Kitchen. Owen Appliance in Forno, a match made for the fall. Welcome back, Thom Abraham Show. What are you playing?
Pocahontas came out in 1995.
Yeah, Pocahontas, 1995. We're featuring 1995. Come up with something better than Pocahontas came out in 1995?
We'll have a lot of people's ears perk up when they hear Pocahontas, all right?
Yeah, I don't know. You brought her, you Pocahontas. All right, phone lines are open if you want to jump in. Kennington, Lloyd Smith, still not good for us, which means more of you guys jumping in at 256-576-4977. That will get you into the show. Yes, the AP poll came out, and we'll have some reaction to that as well. But this story about Jerry Fulks, who is the assistant coach at Guntersville High School, all right, in Alabama, North Alabama, Guntersville High School. He resigned from his position after he was accused of being intoxicated by law enforcement during a jamboree football game, according to News Channel 19 in Huntsville. Arab police say that a man identified as Jerry Fulks approached officers and identified himself as a member of the media to request access to the sideline during an Arab high school jamboree football game last Friday night, all right? I mean, Connor Stallions thinks that this guy's bold. According to that was me, by the way, not the story. According to the authorities, officers suspected that Fulks was drunk and escorted him out of the stadium. Upon further investigation, it was determined that Fulks was intoxicated. He was arrested for public intoxication and transported to the Marshall County Jail. Now, the school, Guntersville City School, released the following statement. The Guntersville City School Board of Education accepted Mr. Fulks' resignation during a special called meeting this morning. Effective today, Mr. Fulks is no longer employed by Guntersville City Schools because this is a personal matter. The district will not comment further regarding the circumstances surrounding his resignation. So I don't understand. I don't understand the decisions, and this is not a mistake. This is a decision. You got to understand that kind of stuff too. People say, well, the guy made a mistake, and this is not a mistake. This is a decision. This guy decided to get hammered and go to the Arab Jamboree and talk his way onto the sideline. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? And the result of it is that he has, temporarily, I don't know that it would be a permanent scenario, but he's temporarily derailed his coaching career. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what the thought process is. It's crazy. Let's go to lines. Grumpy is up next. Grumpy, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hey, pretty good. This high school Columbia with the longest losing streak, I think they're around 100 games. And they got Auburn's old wide receiver and NFL receiver, Sammy Coates, as their coach. I see that they're not playing the team they almost beat last year, but they are playing Grissom. Is Columbia High School as large as... What A are they? Do you know? I don't expect you to know that off the top of your head. Could they possibly be? Go ahead.
They're 5A. They're not going to beat Grissom. Okay? They're not going to beat. They're not going to beat Grissom. Okay. They're not going to. Okay. No. Yeah, they're not going to beat Grissom. Grissom's sporty. They're not going to beat Grissom. I don't believe that they beat Grissom. They are right at 100 losses for sure. Having said that, their first game. And I think, stop me if I'm lying, John, I haven't seen the calendar. I know we're going to talk about it in a meeting today. Their first game is Saturday, and I believe that 97.7 is carrying the game on Saturday. They are playing a small out-of-conference school that they have an excellent chance of beating, and we're actually going to carry the game because it could be national history. It's the longest losing streak in the country. And we are carrying, as far as I know, we're carrying the game on Saturday to see if they can break that losing streak.
Well, and as far as I know, ESPN is doing a documentary on that, and so they may use one of your radio calls if it's good enough in that documentary, man. So be on your toes. Well, I guess are you guys calling it or just carrying?
No, we're calling a game. I don't know who's doing it. I'll find out at the staff meeting. I don't know. It might be Steve that's doing it, but they're playing Greensboro High School. John, do you know where Greensboro is out of?
Not sure.
It's 7 o'clock. I think it might be Tennessee. I'm not sure. Yeah. They're playing this Greensboro school. I think they're like a 1A or a 2A school. Okay. The game is 7 o'clock Saturday night, and I'm looking at the broadcast calendar for 97.7, and yes, the game is on the calendar. I don't know why it's Saturday, but it is Saturday night, and it might be just to get away from the other games because of the possibility of the history. They kind of want to have it to themselves. I don't know. I don't know what the exact reason is.
Hey, and also, has Dan, you've been asking for pictures and contact for this pool. Has Dan sent you that text yet?
No. He sent me a text. He showed me a picture on his phone, and I have asked him repeatedly to send me a picture of it and the contact. Yeah.
Right. Listen, man, I love me some Dan, but he can't get on here and tell us that he does more work than the U.S. Army and more work by 9 a.m. than everyone else does all day. But yet you've asked him for 3 weeks for the link to what you need, and he doesn't send it. It's like, dude, what if you want us to believe that you do all these things and you want to tell us about it, then you got to do the stuff we see.
Yeah, and he also had a guy that helped him with the deck. I think Dan might have been the screws guy. You know what I mean? I think the other guy laid the deck out, did all the cuts, probably did the do the frame and the subfloor and all of that. And then Dan probably was just screw the boards in guy. And sure enough, he missed a board and then hit himself in the head when he stepped on the board. So there you go.
Yeah, but hey, it's none of my business. But when you call for that link 3 or 4 times on the show, then it becomes my business.
I want to put it on the TV.
Let's end that. Huh?
Yeah, let's put it up on WZZN TV. I want to see the picture. I want to put it up on the TV. I'm sick of hearing about it.
Yeah. I just want him to send you the link so we don't have to. Anyway, you know what I'm saying, man. You got to do the stuff that people see. Have a good day.
I appreciate you. I could swear he said it was 8 foot across. That's what I thought he said. I thought he said it was 8 foot across, not or 12 foot across. I thought he said 12 foot across, not 8 foot across. All right, so there's that. Yes, according to the schedule, that game will be carried by 97.7. John, can you find out? Put the Crack Research team on it. See where this Greensboro school is that they're playing. I think I want to say it's in Tennessee. And I want to say they're a 2A school, maybe. They're a small school. We wish them the best, Columbia. I mean, nobody needs to go through that. We wish them all the best.
We got Jason on the line. He can tell us a little bit more about Greensboro.
And Sammy Coates, we wish him the best as well because he was a receiver at Cleveland. So we want to give him a little love. All right, Sammy, tell me more about this thing. What do you got for me?
Jason,
what do you got?
Hey. Greensboro is from southwest Alabama. It's Palouse. It's where Herb Jones played high school basketball.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. They're known for their basketball, but not the football.
Are they like a 2A school, a 1A or a 2A type school?
Yeah, they'll be a 2A.
2A?
Yeah, it'll be a 2A. And you was talking about great football numbers. Tell me if I'm wrong. 00 for the L.A. Raiders. Was that not the best number when Ken Stabler played? What was that guy's name?
It was Jim Otto. He was the center for them. Jim Otto. I don't know if Jim Otto played with Kenny or I know he played with Daryl LaMonica, but I'm not sure if Jim Otto was still there, maybe with Kenny. The other thing about Jim Otto, guys, if you could put up a picture of Jim Otto, it would be hilarious. The other thing about Jim Otto was he wore the old double face mask, the double bar face mask that the running backs wore. He wore that with a bull ring. Jim Otto was the most football-looking football guy this side of Dick Butkus. I mean, Jim Otto was that guy. Now, the other guy that wore 00 was, remember, Kenny Burrow, the wide receiver for the Houston Oilers, wore 00.
Yeah. He was a good ball player, too. Big-time receiver.
Yeah, he was a big-time receiver. 00 is not allowed anymore in the NFL.
Yeah, especially on the offensive line.
Yeah, I know. It's not allowed anywhere on the NFL. I don't even like 0 as a number. I think 0 looks – I've never seen a guy wearing number 0. And I'm watching the Vandy, Tennessee game here at Baumhauer's, and the wide receiver for Vandy, of course, was number 0. And I don't like 0. And Yanzi, what's his name? The defensive end for the Tide has switched his number. He was like 42, and now he's 0, and I don't like it. Pierre, Yancy Pereira is now 0.
I don't really get it. I mean, it seems like you get assigned a number and you just stick to it. That gets swapped every year.
Well, apparently not, because now you got numbers being used for recruiting, which is why Jaden Daniels is in this big row with the LSU, not wanting LSU to allow a defensive back that was promised number 5 to wear number 5 because it's disrespectful to him, which is about the stupidest story I've ever heard, in a lot of years.
It's an honor to get your number retired. It's not being. I mean, he was only there 1 year, 2 years.
Well, not only that, but you need to have you need to help your school recruit. So if I'm Jaden Daniels, the thing he should have done is been on the phone with the kid. You call the kid and you say to the kid, if you come to LSU, you can wear my number 5. That's what he should have been doing.
Right. He really probably doesn't care about LSU. He's coming there to stay first, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to make the DFL. What time is that going to be?
6 o'clock, Carrabba's next Thursday night, a week from Thursday.
Be all right to bring one more with me?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring as many as you want.
All right.
Appreciate you.
I'm going to bring some good ones.
All right, man. Good job by you. So Wolverine Dan has sent some pictures. I think they're from Wolverine Ginger, to be honest with you. Probably not from Dan. One of them is Dan in the pool, and that made me throw up in my mouth a little bit. I didn't need to see that picture.
He set up the tripod and just took a picture of himself in the pool.
Yeah, I'll forward these to you. I don't know if you guys can put them up. Now I'm getting a million of them.
We're going to have to censor some of those.
You hear the dinging in the background? Those are all the pictures coming from over there. I got to say this. The deck is beautiful. The pool is pretty cool looking. The pool is pretty freaking cool looking. It's pretty cool looking. I'd want to put mine in the ground. It's a little smaller than I want. I wonder if they'd make it a little bit bigger than that. But the deck that is built around this thing is really quite nice. That is really good. I also have the stock tank pools out of Austin, Texas. So that's the thing. So now I have that as well. So that's pretty good. I've got more pictures. I will forward these to you guys, and maybe you can get a. Man, this is really nice with the lighting. Wow. It's actually quite nice. This is really, I mean, that bus stands stones. This is really cool. I got to say, it's really cool. All right. Tell you what, let's get a break. See where we're at. I did have a couple of comments. I don't get excited about these preseason polls. You know that, right? I mean, to me, it's just I don't just get all fired up. The AP poll, half of the teams in the AP poll, in a coaches poll, half of those teams won't even be ranked by the end of the year. Half of them won't be ranked. All right? It's just, I get it, that it stirs conversation and so on and so forth. I will say this about that, though. I do want to slip one note in there. Ohio State is number 1 in both polls. The last team to be number 1 in the preseason poll, AP preseason poll, and win the national championship was Alabama in 2017. And I don't know the last time it happened before that. All right? But the last time it happened was 9 years ago. So don't get all excited about these preseason polls. Half of these teams are not even going to be ranked at all. Alabama ends up number 13 in the first AP poll that came out. LSU is number 11. Oklahoma's number 10. Ole Miss number 9. A&M number 8. So you see a big plethora of SEC teams, in that top 12, top 13. You see a bunch of them in the middle there. Indiana's at number 6. They will fall. Miami is at number 7. I actually think Miami may hold up, only because they have very much a popcorn schedule. Georgia was number 3. That's the highest-ranked SEC team. Ohio State and Oregon, just like in the coaches, are number 1 and number 2 out of the Big Ten, and then it falls quickly. All right, we're going to break. We'll come back. We'll see if we can get any of these pictures up on the site. It'll be pretty funny. We'll be back with more right after this Thom Abraham Show.
You're listening to the Thom Abraham Show on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Now, Jimmy, you better not be eating that baseball again.
But, Dad, I yearn for the sweet taste of the sport. This is the best that I got.
Well, then, put down that ball and let's head over to the yard for something a little less rubber-y.
Don't eat your glove this season. Take advantage of our Big Zone deals and head on over to the Yard Milkshake Barn right outside of Toyota Field, where you'll find sweet treats like the Biscoff Cheesecake, Sweet Heat Mango, Shirley Temple Floats, and so many more. It's the Yard Milkshake Barn. Make this summer a home run hit.
I'm attorney Gary Lackey. I know your accident is the real thing, and they happen to real people.
I'm attorney Justin Lackey. There's a lot of talk right now about bigger, but when you've had a wreck, is bigger better?
I'm attorney Jennifer Lackey. Do you want to be just a case number?
With offices in Huntsville and Scottsboro, we take the time to help.
The Lackey Law Firm. The Lackey Law Family. 1-800-4-RIGHTS.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up. If you're ready to lower your utility bills, it's time to call Eagle Insulation. Eagle can handle it all. Attic re-insulation, insulation removal, wall insulation, and new construction insulation, commercial and residential. Our primary goal is to save you money, and lots of it. Typical clients realize their return on investment within 3 to 6 months. That means the re-insulation actually pays for itself and then some. See if we can help you. Contact Eagle Insulation today, 256-755-1556, or log on insulatewitheagle.com.
Check out our latest zone deal.
Full Moon Barbecue, located right off of the Parkway. And don't forget that Full Moon can also cater your events as well. From burgers to hot dogs to ribs to barbecue, it's all at Full Moon Barbecue. And don't forget the desserts as well.
Just head over to our website, 977ESPN.com. Zone deals on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
No Wi-Fi?
How are we going to stream the game?
Mom, I have a research project due.
How are we going to make dinner?
Don't let power outages send your family into a meltdown. Get a Generac generator from Current Electrical. We keep your lights on and your Wi-Fi on. Visit gensuperstore.com or call 256-880-1880. Trust us, your family will thank you.
Most current way to keep your power on. GeneracSuperstore.com.
Welcome to Southern Wagyu Steakhouse and Meat Market in Huntsville. From hand-cut premium steaks and chef-crafted Southern favorites to phenomenal made-from-scratch desserts and restaurant-quality meats you can take home. Every meal is made with passion and served with genuine Southern hospitality. Join us for lunch or dinner. Attend a monthly 5-course supper club or stop by to stock up your grill. You'll see that we deliver excellence from prep to plate. Southern Wagyu Steakhouse and Meat Market, corner of Highway 72 East and Jordan Road. Come taste the difference.
97.7 ESPN The Zone.
This segment of the show is brought to you by Lynn Layton Ford. That's right. My good friend Bobby White is now at Lynn Layton, and I'm right there with him. And you know what you'll never find at Lynn Layton Ford? Some mysterious dock fee that can be like $600, $700, or $800. The price you saw advertised is the price you'll pay. That's the Lynn Layton way. You see, transparency is important in buying these days, and that's what you get at Lynn Layton Ford in Decatur. I made the move, and so should you, to Lynn Layton Ford.
First things first, I pop freaks all the honeys, dummies, Playboy bunnies.
Welcome back to Thom Abraham Show. Final segment. If you want to get in, you can do it 256-5764 97.7. That will get you in. All right, so I have sent the boys, I don't know if they can get them up in time or not, but I have sent the boys some photos. Wolverine Dan, Wolverine Gender went nuts sending me pictures, which is good. I appreciate it. They sent the pictures, but they did send the link to these things. They're called ranch pools, I think is what they call them, ranch pools. So that's because that's what they look like. I'm not sure that's what I'm looking for. I may be going more towards the plunge pool, rectangular, fiberglass, in-ground plunge pool. It looks like this thing could be put in the ground, too. Whenever we do it, it'd probably be in the ground. I don't know that it would be above ground like that, but it's perfect size for a small backyard. So it is an interesting thing. Maybe it'll become a sponsor. Maybe it'll become a sponsor. But if you hear about a plunge pool sponsor, you're going to know that I ended up getting a plunge pool, at some particular point in time. It could happen that way. You never know. All right, 256-576-4977. Now, I never do this, but I think I know where he wants to go with it.
I just hung up on him.
Oh, did you?
The last thing you said to me is we don't double dip.
I never take a double dipper. I never take a double dipper. But it was Philip, and I think I know where he wanted to go because he wanted to comment on the Tommy John passing away. I think that's what it was. I think that's where he wanted to go.
Well, now I'm the ass.
You are the ass. It was Philip. It was him that did that. I was going to take your call. I just said all he was doing was telling you in general that we don't double dip. You know what I mean? That's in general.
Well, I'm the producer here, and what I do stays.
Goes. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that goes.
Yeah. We'll see how that works out. But the fact of the matter is that Tommy John did pass away. It's one of these rare things where a surgery was named basically after a guy. And I think that there's just a whole generation of people like you, John, that when you hear Tommy John surgery, you hear about Tommy John surgery, didn't really know about Tommy John. Didn't know that there was a Tommy John that pitched for the Dodgers. He was the first one that they tried this experimental surgery on his elbow. And then he came back and pitched for the Yankees, pitched well for the Yankees as well. And they ended up naming the surgery basically after him. It became Tommy John surgery. When guys had this done, it's the ulnar collateral ligament or something. I don't know what it is called, but it's an elbow type surgery. One of the things that happened that was really kind of wrong was that there have been high school kids getting it. Some parents have had their kids that get it. You're actually a little bit stronger after it than you had before. You can come back stronger, and there have been some elective Tommy John surgeries. Now, I know some surgeons won't do it. It's the wrong thing to do. At some point in time, maybe we'll get a surgeon on from TOC and talk about it, about these people that get it done electively. It's not the right thing to do, but it is. There are surgeons that have done it, so that has happened before. Some comments as the AP poll came out from the folks at Saturday Down South. They said, here's 3 takeaways. Last year's college football playoff result had little impact. The top 5 of the AP featured one semifinalist from last year's college football program. Oregon, the 2025 champion, Indiana, had a settle for number 6, despite the Ducks beating the Ducks twice last season. Miami, last year's runner-up, ranked number 7. Another semifinalist, Ole Miss, returns arguably the nation's top quarterback, but landed at number 9. Look, this isn't the NFL. This isn't where you're bringing back all of the people that were playing, the year before. With maybe just a couple of changes. These teams have massive turnover. All right? Of course Oregon's going to be ranked ahead of Indiana. Oregon has their starters. They got the quarterback back, Dante Moore. You don't know at Indiana. You just don't assume that you can plug and play another quarterback and you're going to have a Fernando Mendoza type of season out of that guy. Now, Indiana's likely going to be very good. They've been very good for 2 years. But let's not go off the deep end and just say because they were number 1 last year, they got to be that guy this year. Miami the same way. Miami was in the national championship game last year. Perfect storm for Miami. No doubt about it. So automatically we're supposed to say they're the number 1 or 2 or 3 team in the nation. They've got a new quarterback this year. Everybody likes the kid from Duke. Okay, fine. But they also lost both their defensive ends to the NFL. Do they have guys that are coming back? Yeah. They got some really nice-looking defensive ends as well. They're loaded with talent. They've always loaded with talent. But this is hard to do year in and year out. This is a very difficult thing to do. So you can't just automatically assume that it's going to be the same way, 1 year to the next. Especially with the turnover you have. And you can talk about Ole Miss all you want. At number 9, Ole Miss I'm telling you, Ole Miss could be a team that's 8-4. It could happen. I'm saying over and over again, Pete Golding is a dude's dude. He's a guy you want to hang out with. He's a guy I'd love to sit on a couch watch a game with. I'm not 1,000% confident that Pete Golding is going to be that he's him as far as a head coach. I'm not, or in college football, I'm not sure that he's that guy. I'm not. In Trinidad Chambliss, how much did he benefit from Lane Kiffin and Lane Kiffin's offense? That's why a lot of people think that Sam Levitt could have a huge year. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss came in as a D2 guy and had this massive year in this system. And he's certainly got skills. He's very talented. But Sam Levitt comes to LSU with more skill set than with more juice than what Trinidad Chambliss went to Ole Miss with. I'm not going to just you sit there and just automatically say that that's the guy. Notre Dame is a real thing. They partly because of their schedule, and partly because they're not in a conference. But because they're Notre Dame and they're not in a conference, they better go 11-1. They better go 11-1. They'll drop a couple. Who knows what could happen there? Texas. Texas is bringing back a lot of talent, and they add a wide receiver in Cam Coleman that is going to be right there near the top. Outside of the Jeremiah Smith kid at Ohio State, maybe the next best receiver in the country when he's playing with Arch Manning here. And not playing with those challenged quarterbacks that he played with for the last couple of years at Auburn. You're liable to see Cam Coleman just be spectacular. Texas is a team that I'm high on, but, we'll see. We'll tee it up, and then we'll see. All right, I want to thank the gang here at Baumhauer's. They're so great. They do such a tremendous job. Grasshopper mixed the show. The Bandy Man took care of the video. I'm Thom Abraham. We'll do it again on Hump Day. Till then, have a great day, everybody.